Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Hey, Lisa.
what's happening? Oh, we got an echo.
Do we?
Yeah,
I don't hear an echo.
kind of strange.
You still hearing it? Is it?
Do you guys hear an echo?
Hey, Milk and Honey.
Hey, Milk and
Hey,
Honey.
Gwen.
Hey, Gwen.
I don't hear an echo.
Okay. I thought it was because maybe Mountain Grandpa was watching us in the background.
No, actually.
Oh,
I
it's
know
better
because
now.
sometimes he does that. Hey, Suburban Hillbilly.
Hey, Suburban Hillbilly. It's better now.
Oh,
Thanks,
good.
Gwen. Come on up, Gwen.
Everybody, we are going to have Gwen of Broke Cowgirl Homestead joining us today.
I sound like I'm in a tunnel. Huh. Let me see if this.
I don't hear you. You're muted.
Is this better?
Oh, I think that sounds good. Yep. Okay, here comes Gwen.
Hi, Gwen.
Hey, Gwen.
How's it going?
All sounds good to me.
Awesome.
No lag.
No lag. Yes. Yay.
Yay. So nice to see you, and thank you for joining us today.
It's good to be here.
How was your weekend?
Suburban Hillbilly. I don't know what's going on with my microphone, whatever.
Okay, now Lisa's quiet.
I'm here.
Okay.
How was your weekend, Gwen?
Every day's a weekend.
Aw, that's the
retired.
life.
My husband's retired, and it's like half the time I don't even know what day it is.
Oh, how nice. One of these days. I would love that.
Okay, now I've got an echo.
Huh.
I don't hear an echo.
Me neither.
Am I the cause?
Yeah. Gwen, you don't have any other windows open, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, close it.
I have my email open.
Yeah, just close that down. Hey, Gail, Southern Living.
Hey, Gail.
Okay. Which one do I close? Because I have StreamYard open and I have this one open.
You're fine. Leave it then if you can hear us okay. Because I don't hear the echo.
I don't hear an echo either.
Neither does the chat.
It's Mountain Grandma. I think that's echoing.
Do you have a YouTube window open? Because StreamYard, you should only have one of those, I think.
Okay, I do have the YouTube. Let me close that. Okay,
that's the one doing it.
Okay.
Hey, Watt Life.
Okay.
Hey there, Hat Creek. Dawn, hope you're doing
Watt
well.
Life, Hat Creek Homestead. Good to see you guys.
Dawn's been posting pictures of the kids up on Instagram. It's so neat to see how much they've grown. Hey, Charles Bushcraft.
Hey, Charles.
What's that? What's that?
You do that good, Lisa.
I love that.
So, Gwen, I know there's probably most people know you, but for those that don't or come back to watch the replay, would you like to share a little bit about your channel?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. It's animals, goats, chickens, cows. Occasionally, we don't go out. I don't take my phone out to the cow pasture that often. Mm-hmm. I should, but I don't. I garden. I can. I cook. I sew.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whatever strikes me as, oh, get your phone out and video this.
Yeah.
So,
how many acres do you all have, and where are you located? For anybody
we
who doesn't.
are in Southeast Texas, about 70 miles north of Houston, northwest a little bit, and we have 330 acres.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Dang.
It's land that has been in my husband's family since 1850.
Wow. That is amazing.
Where we live is 30 acres.
Uh-huh.
The cow pasture is across town, is 300 acres. And
Uh-huh.
that was my mother-in-law's family side. And this,
Mm-hmm.
where we lived, was my father-in-law's side.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's
So,
so
and
awesome.
they all came pretty much at
Mm-hmm.
the same time to
Mm-hmm.
this area from
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
In the 1850s. That
Yes,
is amazing.
yes. I'm the genealogist of the family.
Uh-huh.
I do that in
Mm-hmm.
spurts, I guess you could say, because
Mm-hmm.
nowadays with the internet and all the information on the internet,
Uh-huh.
I get it out about once or twice a year. All my stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
drag it out and I go through all my books and look up everybody to see if there's anything new, because I have found just about all there is to find on stuff. And you don't find
Wow.
anything new very often
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
As you
Mm-hmm.
know, because they've got all the records online. Well, not all, but so many records online that it's almost rare to find anything new.
Mm-hmm.
And my side of the family, oh my God, it's like I have found out a lot, but we didn't know anything about my dad's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my dad, they were here one time. I asked him, I said, Dad, what was your grandma's name? Because we didn't know. And he said,
Uh-huh.
Grandma. And I was like, that doesn't help me at all. But since then, I have found so much. And it's, I used to know all the names and all the dates and when they came here and where they lived and everything. And then the internet opened it up to so much more information. Somebody will ask me something now because everybody around here is related to us, and they'll ask me. And I'm like, I don't know. I got to get my book, because all that extra stuff that I've found,
Yeah.
it don't take up space up there.
Yeah. How could it?
Because
I mean, that's a lot of names.
one book that is on my side of the family is like 6 inches thick.
Holy smokes.
And then
Wow.
I have his mom's side book and his dad's side book. And
Mhm.
it's just mind boggling.
That's amazing. What an awesome undertaking you've done in doing that, though. Hey,
Well,
for anybody who wants to do like that kind of stuff, can you share like what are your main resources for info? Like where would you tell somebody who wants to get genealogical information? Where would you tell them to start?
if you don't want to pay for a subscription on anything, Family
Mm-hmm.
Search, I think it's .org,
Mm-hmm.
is all free, but it's only records. On
Mm-hmm.
Ancestry, you have people that have built their family tree on
Mm-hmm.
there and put pictures and all kind of documents that they found that you can save if it's yours. I mean, you can save it even if it's not yours. But
Mm-hmm.
you can look up anybody. I
Yeah.
mean, people in our community, the older generation that are slowly dying off,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that, I don't, my mother-in-law is like, well, I don't know when she was born, or I don't know when they got married. I'm on Ancestry looking it up.
Mm-hmm.
And in just a minute, I'll tell her. And she's like, how did you know that? Like, internet. But you can look up anybody. You
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
can look up birth records, marriage records, death records, census
Mm-hmm.
records.
Yeah.
It's just amazing at what's out there.
That's
I'm
really
sure.
cool,
And
Hat Creek.
that's just one of my little hobbies, I guess you could say. I started
Mm-hmm.
way back
Mm-hmm.
in the middle 80s when you had to actually go to the library. I had a baby, and
Mm-hmm.
going to the library with a baby is like a nightmare, because you have to be
Mm-hmm.
quiet, and babies don't be quiet. You have the
Mm-hmm.
librarian staring you down, going,
I was thinking of the microfiche, where you had to go look.
yeah.
I
Well,
remember that.
I've
Oh my
only
gosh.
I've only done that a few times, and I don't like that part of it. But
Mm-hmm.
what I would love to do if I knew how, and I'm not, even though I've done this for so many years, I'm not really all that good at it. I would love to find where these people lived in South Carolina and where they live, and actually like go there to their farm, not like walk up and knock on the door, but just see the land, make a day trip to do other things and then include that. But I have no clue how to find. I mean, I do, but you have to actually like, if I wanted to go to South Carolina to find their spot of land, I would have to go to that courthouse, look up that deed, and hopefully that deed
Oh
would
my
have
goodness. Yeah.
GPS, GPS
Yeah.
coordinates. And if it doesn't, then you've wasted your time. It's but when we moved here, I was born and raised in West Texas, and his mom and dad were from here, and his dad worked for Mobile, and they moved all over the state. And we went to high school together, and we got married. And he had told me on our first date that he wanted to build a house on his people's property, and just things that he wanted to do. And we've done all the things that he said he wanted to do. But when we moved here, since my family was so weird and so we didn't know anything, and the first time we went to the cemetery here, I'm looking at 4 and 5 generations of people in his family that are all buried right here. And I was like, holy cow. And I'm writing everything down like it's going to disappear. But that's kind of what got me started. I absolutely hated history in high school. None of the names, none of the dates would stick. I could read it and close the book and it was gone. And this has
not my favorite subject either.
Well, this has really made me interested in history. When you have somebody that was related to you that was there and did that, whatever it was, then it makes a story. And the stories that you find, which comes from old Bibles, old letters, just military records, when you start piecing it all together and you have this a timeline, and you have this person's life story, that is what gets me like,
that's really cool. And I mean, you do it not just for yourself, but you do it for your family too. So that's really cool.
And I'm like, I have told my kids over and over again, I hope and pray that you can understand what's in these books. I try to keep it, like one page. The oldest one I have, the farthest back is the first page. And then the next page is his parents and their kids in the next page. And then I stick other stuff between the pages that I've found. Deeds, marriage records, death records.
Suburban hillbilly. Since we're talking about family, she's really looking for a good home for her son.
Well, my daughter's married. My son is not. He's the oldest. We don't think he probably ever will because he just turned 37.
I have a beautiful daughter. I've got a short of her with her pig on my channel. I mean, the girl is gorgeous. She's quite a handful, though, suburban hillbilly. I don't know that you'd want your son to have to worry. I think
girls are just, I don't know. If I had it to do over again, I'd have a whole bunch more, but I only had 2.
Me too. I'd have had a whole bunch of kids.
And I only have 1 grandbaby.
And that's
all I'm going to have. That's it. And it kills me because my grandmother had 38 grandkids.
Whoa.
And we all got together and we would like sleep on the floor. And it was just solid bodies everywhere.
Oh, fun.
Pallets everywhere. I don't know how she had so many quilts, blankets, and whatever, but I want so many grandkids and I have 1. And I'm like, I got to do this 110%.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
that's what I've always said is I don't want to be a vacation grandma. I want to be able to have my kids or my grandkids like come over, feel like they want to walk in the house and go and open up the fridge. And that is exactly what they do.
oh yeah,
They will come in our door and they'll go right to the refrigerator.
my grandson. Well, when he was born, my daughter was working home health,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a C-section,
Uh-huh.
and that's the main reason I won't have any more because she was like,
Uh-huh.
"I'm not doing that again."
Uh-huh.
Blame her.
But her home health care was a very light load. It wasn't difficult. She didn't have to do
Uh-huh.
any lifting or anything like that. And
Yeah.
so when he was 2 weeks old, she went back to work,
Mm-hmm.
and they live on the other end of the property.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You're not putting him in daycare.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kept him every day.
Oh, that's
Every day
awesome.
of his life,
Yeah.
except for the weekends. And then, they're in and out. And then when he started school, I don't remember what she was doing when she started school, but he'd come home to my house on the bus, or we'd go
Oh,
pick him up at
yeah.
school. And
See,
so, and
isn't
he
that awesome?
still comes home on the bus to me
Yeah.
because now she's a school nurse in another town.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's like, I told her, you can't ever move away.
Mhm.
Just stay
Right?
here. Because
Yeah.
this
Don't
kid
take
is
them
mine.
babies.
This kid is mine.
Yeah. I hear ya. So
I
hey,
just,
Gwen,
oh,
go ahead, Lisa.
I was gonna say I just posted Gwen's link again in the chat if you want to pin it.
Oh, I will do that.
Thank
And
you.
I think I got everybody in the chat posted.
So
Gwen's got a
Gwen,
lot
do
of
you
tomatoes. In case you
I
didn't know.
still have those little green ones. They're turning red.
She's been
Oh,
canning for
I'm
months.
looking at the shelf over there, and there's maybe 2/3 of a shelf left. I
Mhm.
don't know. We may just eat sandwiches with tomatoes. I don't know. I don't want to can another tomato this year. Oh,
Can them or I'd cut them up and just make some sauce for the night.
Mhm.
well, Gary makes, what do you call it, with raw tomatoes, raw peppers. Oh man, what do you call that stuff?
Like sausage, peppers, and onions kind of thing.
Yeah, what do you call it? It's got a name.
Salsa?
Salsa.
No, our salsa is
Mayo?
cooked. What do you call the raw?
Let's see.
He's
There's
in
salsa, pico de gallo.
pico de gallo, except
Okay,
he
I was
doesn't
gonna
put
say
cilantro. He doesn't put
Mhm.
cilantro. We don't do cilantro, but
Mhm.
he does make that, and I don't like it. So,
Mhm. I love
but
pico de gallo. Do you guys put cucumbers in yours?
oh,
I put cucumbers in mine.
never heard of that. He would
We had
bolt if I put a cucumber in there.
Oh, we had some neighbors that were from Mexico once, and that's the first time I ever even had pico de gallo was from them. I didn't have it from a restaurant, or if I did, I didn't know what it was, right? So, but that's how she showed me how to make it was with cucumbers. So
Huh, never heard of
cucumbers,
that.
tomatoes, green onions, almost like salsa, avocado, cilantro, and lime,
Yeah.
all cut in little
Cucumbers
bitty
probably absorb the
chunks.
flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't
Really good with
know.
cucumbers.
Growing up, we didn't go out to eat. We did not go out to eat unless we were like on the road going somewhere and we were starving.
Mm-hmm.
We'd
Yeah.
stop somewhere and get a
Right.
hamburger or, at a cafe.
Well,
didn't-
don't forget, like heck, even when I was younger, there wasn't a lot of these big name fast food
Oh
places.
no, it
You
was
go out to eat, you
mom
were
and
going to go
pop
sit down in a
cafe.
restaurant or something.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
mom and pop cafes. When I was a kid, my grandfather on my dad's side was, I don't really know what his title was. It was the job he took after he retired, just to have something to do because he was widowed. and he was the night clerk at a hotel in Sweetwater.
Hey, Tina.
And we would go spend the weekend and stay with Granddaddy, and there was a cafe next door, and that's where we ate breakfast and lunch and supper.
Yeah.
But I mean, we didn't travel that much either. And when we did, it was horrid. I had 3 older brothers, and we would do things like get in the car and drive to Canada. And
dang, from Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be miserable.
And it was the pictures that we have. It's like jump out of the car, stand by this, whatever, take a picture, get in the car, and let's go.
Yeah, that was my family.
And then
that was my family.
And
like it was some great time.
Drive for another 100 hours, it seemed like, and jump out of the car, take a picture, and go.
Yeah,
we did that when I was 5. We went to
Hat
Canada.
Creek. Our eating out on road trips was a loaf of bread, a piece of bologna, and a canteen of water. If we were lucky, a bag of chips and a slice of cheese.
And Dad did not stop to go to the bathroom. My dad was a truck driver.
Yep.
And I don't know what it was about. He would not stop. So we had coffee cans in the back. Yeah, take the lid off, take care of your business, put the lid on, and then when we stopped it, go take a picture. Mom went,
okay.
Awful.
What I would give for a coffee can these days, because I'd rather do the coffee can than the public restrooms.
Well, that's true these days. Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the last time that I rode with my mom and dad, I had gone home, which is 525 miles, for my best friend's wedding. I had gone and stayed for like 3 weeks or something. And we were coming home. And we stopped in Big Springs, which is an hour and a half, 2 hours from their house, to eat breakfast. And of course, I went to the bathroom. Mama always taught you go before you leave the house. You go wherever you get the chance. Well, somewhere along the way, it hit me, and I needed it. I told Dad, you can stop anytime now.
What parents put us all through.
We're driving down the road, and there's those little stair thingies that go up and over the fence. I don't know what they're called. And I'm like, there's a spot. You could have pulled over right there. I could move over the fence. Dad, he didn't stop until about an hour from here.
Oh, jeez.
That's
and
awful.
I was like, oh, my Lord, have mercy. I am dying.
and you were outnumbered, too.
I got out. We stopped for gas. And I got back in the car.
That's
and
what I'm thinking,
I will
Gail.
never, ever go anywhere with you again, ever. And he said, why? And I said, I've been begging for hours. And I'm like, nope, not ever going with you again. I will take my own vehicle wherever I go.
Yes, some of those bathrooms, man, you just hope you come out of there without catching anything.
The other person was the hot wet washcloth that Mom kept in a baggie in her purse to wash faces.
Oh, my mom used Kleenex.
Oh,
yes. That was like before you walked into church. Oh,
that's so funny.
I swore I would never do that to my kids, and I did not.
Oh. I love doing that to Ryan.
We had wipes then, no. Yeah, if you didn't have a Kleenex, it was her thumb.
Yeah, I just do it to give Ryan a hard time. Either that, or I go like this, and I go by his ear.
Well, I mean, it was just the way it was. Goodness. We didn't think anything about it when we were kids, but now it's like,
Whoa, the spit bath.
So, Gwen, do you want to tell us what your goals are for this year?
I was talking to my husband about this, and he said, goals. I was like, yeah, that list of things to do.
Keep the animals alive.
I mean, we've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
You have.
That it's like, I don't really know if I have goals. You might say, I just have a list of things to do that I want to get done.
Yeah.
But
Those are goals.
Those are
is.
goals.
And this pasture, get the fence back up for my goats.
Mhm.
It's like, well, I have the wire, I have the post, I have everything. And when it was cool enough weather to actually do it, we were getting buckets and buckets and buckets of rain. And you can't dig a full pencil post hole for the fence, for the corner posts with the tractor, because just driving out there, it would sink. It was that wet.
Yeah.
And so, it's not going to happen while it's raining. And then when it finally quits raining, then it's 100 degrees. And I'm not about to ask him to get out there in 100 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
How many goats do you guys have?
1 million.
No. No. 4, 10.
10
Now,
goats. That's about how many we got. Yeah.
Do what, Lisa?
Are you keeping the girls? Because I know the boys went to their home.
I'm keeping one. I haven't really advertised the other 2.
Thank you, Hat Creek.
I have a lady that I thought wanted one, but she hasn't contacted me, so I don't know. And then I had the lady that wanted to trade a goat for a cooney pig, and I was like, no, they're cute, but I can't. I don't have a place for one.
Right.
I mean, it would have to go in the barn with the goats, and I don't think they would like that.
Yeah.
The pig wouldn't mind.
No, pig wouldn't mind, but the goats might.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. They I haven't posted mine yet, but a lot of people are saying that the pig market has tanked, and also goat market. I've got a lot of people on Instagram who are saying they can't sell their goats. So I'm glad you're able to sell.
Well,
yeah, that is good. We're struggling. We
have an outlet. The sale barn's 25 minutes away, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Yeah,
I don't like it, but if that's what it comes to, that's where they go.
Same here. I don't have one close by, so it's going to be a trek. But if I needed to, I'm going to look one up.
But ours, for the longest, well, they sold goats and sheep. I don't know. It was like once or twice a month. And I bought a buck off of Craigslist, the very first buck that I bought. And of course, looked at pictures. We get over there, we get him, and he doesn't look all that big. And then I get him home. We had a pen set up that was cattle panels, and we put him in it. And Gary just left. As soon as we got him in there, left me to feed him, water him, do whatever the setup, because he's mine. he helps me if I ask him to, but the goats are mine.
Yeah.
And this thing backed up. He's looking at the fence, and I'm like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Jumped the fence and got one back leg hung in the fence. It's hanging there upside down. I'm screaming and hollering, jumping up and down, and he's gone. He's back in the house. And he had horns. I was like, I didn't know what to do to get him unhung. He finally unhung himself. And there he goes trucking around the house. And I'm like, oh, Lord. And by the time
they can get out, boy.
I got around the side of the house, Gary was coming out. And I was like, go grab a feed bucket. And he said, what for? And I said, the goat jumped out. I told you to stay with me in case he did that. And so we caught him. I set the bucket down, and he'd come to eat. And I caught him by the horns. I told him, I said, be ready, because if he starts dragging me, you're going to have to catch me and him. And so,
hang on, guys.
The grandbabies are there.
But he was too big.
Oh, wow.
He was bigger than I was comfortable with, because I put one of my females with him, and I was like, oh, no, he's too big.
Yeah.
So I kept him for about a month, and I wasn't happy with his size. So I told Gary,
I'll be right back.
I'm
I
gonna
gotta
take
help
him
these
to the
little
sale
ones.
barn.
So where'd you take him, Gwen?
To the sale barn.
Oh, good.
And I paid $75 for him. And we took him to the sale barn, and I told Gary, I said, they can't have very many heads. It won't take long because they start the goat sale at like 10, and they start the cattle sale at 11 or 11:30.
Right.
And I said, we can just stay here and then get my check and go home.
Yeah.
He was in the first little batch they brought in. And they started bidding on him, and he went to $230. And I was like, oh, I was just a nervous wreck. And Gary said, we're in the wrong business.
Yeah. No kidding.
They had 500 head of sheep and goats that day. And it's every Saturday now. And they have that many head every Saturday, sometimes more. And it's unreal.
I wish we had that.
Our sale barn guy, I still say he's new, but he's not. He's owned it probably a good 20 years. And he has 3 or 4 other sale barns that he owns, but they don't have sales there. They have, I don't know, it's like a drop station for all these outer lying places. And if you got whatever you want to sell, you drop it off there, and then they truck it here. I'm sure your commission and all that is way less, but
yeah,
they have so much now every Saturday.
Wow. That's really cool.
But
I know there's one about 90-ish minutes north of me, and that's where a friend of mine brings her sheep, thanks Suburban Hillbilly, and her lambs and stuff like that. So that's cool. I don't know if they do.
We have 2 within 30 minutes. Actually 3, but the third one went exotic. They don't sell anything but exotic stuff. It's fun to go and look and watch, but I don't want a zebra and I don't want a water buffalo. And
they really have stuff like that?
They have sold giraffes. Yes.
Girl, you need to do a video.
I don't know. I've done a short video at the sale barn, but just holding my phone like I'm looking at my phone, I don't know that they really want people to do that because of, stupid people. PETA.
Yeah. No kidding. No kidding.
I mean, our sale barn, we know them well, and I don't even have to tell them my name when I go to the window. They know who I am. And it's a hometown kind of type thing. And
that's cool.
I mean, it's the sale barn that we have used from the first calves we sold. Oh gosh. Amanda was born in 91. Probably 92 or 93 was our first set of calves that we sold. So we've used them since then. And
oh, that's awesome. Hey, Kelly, Mickelson Family Homestead, you're never late. Don't worry about it.
That's one of the things that I can just sit and go to the sale barn, whether I'm selling anything or buying. I don't buy anything from the sale barn, but I just like the atmosphere. I like watching the animals go through. It's just like cheap entertainment.
Yeah. I like fairs and stuff. Yes, in America, Joy. They also, what was I going to say? Oh, do you mind sharing like how much commission they take out of that? What's the percentage?
Got my paper right here.
Oh, she's talking about the sale barn. I was wondering about that. I will have to pop away as soon as I'm called. That's me being called. Hold on, I'll be right back.
No worries, Grandma.
Commission was $70, yardage was 14, even though we dropped them off at like 10 minutes before the sale started. They still charge you yardage, like they've spent the night. And then insurance, which I don't know if that's insurance for their guys that work in the pens or what it's for, 86 cents.
So 84, 86
Yep.
is what they get. Huh.
That was for 7.
For
The
7.
The 7 little bucklings.
Okay.
You cannot sell bucklings around here. They just, sell barn.
I know. I've got a lot of boars. A lot of little boarlings.
But you can, they're meat. I could have raised those. I could have banded them and raised them and processed them. But 7 little boys, you don't band them until they're at least like 4 months old. And some of them from day one are already acting like a little buck.
Yeah.
As soon as they get dried off and they're already spitting and sputtering and it's like those poor little girl goats. I was like, I felt so bad because I put them all in one pen and those little boys were just driving them nuts.
Yeah.
And I told Gary, I was like, I'm ready for them to go because they are just a pain.
Yeah.
People didn't understand when I made my videos when they were born. I was like, it's a buckling. I hope for those, but
yeah, we have a lot of castrating to do this year.
Yeah, I don't mind doing mine, if I've got to, because it's just a rubber band.
If I could see this, I'd be thrilled.
Like 5 seconds and you're done.
Yeah, banding would be great, but it just doesn't
you can't
work.
do that to a pig.
Yeah. Yeah, the goats get banded like calves.
Yes, it's exactly like banding a calf, except smaller.
Good job, Huga.
Yeah, good job, CB. That's exhausting. Yeah, we got to go out and start looking at them because the little ones are close. Well, Fiona's are close to 2 weeks, and now's the time.
Really?
But when you band a goat, if you're keeping it for weather, you don't want to do it too soon because if you band them early, it's like urethra. I can't say that word. Urethra. It stops growing. It stays small. Then they're more apt to get urinary calculi stones that won't fit through that. So you wait until they're 4 to 6 months old before you do that. And in that time frame, they're a pain. So
yeah.
Yeah,
milk and honey, they are. You got to cut them open. It's just,
But it's not a very big cut, is it?
No, it's not. You just have to, I think I'm a little traumatized from last year, but you have to cut them open and then you got to watch for infection. That's what I don't like about it. I wish I could just band them. And then we end up doing it. We do it right by the mama's pen just because we want them to be real close by so we can put them right back on and nurse.
Right.
So, mama gets a little upset and we do wear ear protection because they scream extremely loud.
Oh, no kidding. I hadn't thought about that.
Oh, they do that even if you just pick them up. When they all escaped yesterday and I had to pick them up. Oh my gosh. He thought I was killing them.
Well, these little goats, the 3 little girls, not Chevy. She's fine. She doesn't care one way or the other. She never did. I've never seen her nurse her mama, but I put her back with her every day, Well, they're not going back with their mamas now.
Was that the one that was your house goat for like 6 months?
No, Honeysuckle was.
Oh,
their mama.
Mm-hmm.
Their mama was the house goat for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm milking, of course, let's see. It's only been like 3 or 4 days
Suburban hillbilly.
that I have not put them back with their mom. And there is one little girl goat. She eats the feed with the others, but the whole time she's eating, she's like making noise, talking with
Mm-hmm.
a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
And then she finally just gives up on that and gets in the little wall feeder on the, it's for the other adult folks, but she gets in it and
Mm-hmm.
stands there and screams at me.
Uh-huh.
Well, the first day when I shut the door leaving the barn, she was in the feeder screaming at me, I want to go back with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
It got 10 times worse when I shut the barn door. She was dying, you would thought.
Aw.
I mean, it literally sounded like she was dying. I was like, oh, Miss Drama Queen. You know, it was horrible.
Hey, G Mama Grows.
Feed,
Hey, G Mama.
eat your feed. You're not going back with Mama. She's right beside them. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
they sound terrible. I told my husband yesterday, I said, you need to come out here and hear this. This is ridiculous.
Uh-huh. So what are
Yeah.
you how much of your 30 acres? So you got the goats, you've got the cows out in pasture.
I don't have cows
How
here
much,
at the house.
and not at the house, but out there in your 300-acre pasture,
Right.
And then for your garden, like what are you most excited about gardening this year? I know you had tons of tomatoes.
I'm
I
not
love
excited anymore.
the V8 recipe was so awesome.
I'm not excited about my garden because it's waist deep in grass and weeds. It has never
Barn
looked like this.
grass.
It's horrible. To the point, I watched now I can't say the name. The lady that was finding the snakes. When she was out in her garden, she'd put tarps down. I just watched
Wendy?
Yes. And I was like, I was out picking peas last night, like 8:30. Never crossed my mind to even think
What
about
did Wendy find in her garden?
snakes, copperheads.
Plural?
And we have copperheads here.
We do too.
And I just had never even thought of, I mean, I've never seen a snake in the garden, but that doesn't mean now that it's, this
Oh
deep.
my gosh, I'm gonna have to warn my daughter. How
And I was
high was
like,
her grass in her
Not,
garden?
not.
Really?
No, like I think she said she had been weed eating
Oh
when she
my
found them.
goodness.
And it wasn't like tall grass at all.
What?
And mine is waist deep.
Oh my goodness.
It's ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gwen, I'd be scared to go out there too.
Well, I had told my husband, we've been, I mean, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with, I'll burn it. What?
Yeah.
Are the goats in there? Let them eat it. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Put the goats in there.
Well,
Yep.
I got my strawberry bed would be the only thing that
yeah.
I don't want them in. So I'd have to have something covering that somehow or another. But I don't know that they would eat it because they don't really eat grass. They eat tree branches and stuff above their head. But anyway, I told him, I said, I'm ready for the weed eater.
Yeah, for sure.
Just mow everything down that's not food.
Where's Wendy?
She's in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she's the one that found the timber rattler, right? In the tree.
Yep.
See, we have those too, but it's rare. But we have copperheads, we have water moccasins. I don't do snakes.
Oh my goodness.
I don't do snakes.
Yeah, I know we have them. I haven't seen them here.
I've seen one in the driveway that was run over.
We have coral snakes too.
We had one trying to get in our front door, but it wasn't a scary snake. It was, just a little snake.
My mother-in-law lives 100 yards through the woods from us, and she leaves the door open for her dog to go in and out. And she has called us, I think, 4 or 5 times. I've got a snake in the house. I've got a snake in the house. I'm like, if you would shut the door.
Yeah.
But leaving the door open, because most of the time, I don't think it's ever been a venomous snake, but it could be.
Yeah. My husband was outside and he was going towards the screen door, and apparently the screen door wasn't quite shut all the way. and he could see it going right up under, but our house door was closed, so it didn't get in the house. But
Yeah. We've killed
we had
copperheads
seen,
on the porch.
uh-huh,
On my
yeah.
front porch, we have killed copperheads. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the dogs have been bit a time or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeesh.
I
Yeah.
don't know what it is about a dog and getting snake bit, but copperheads, they swell up, but they don't get sick. They don't die.
Oh, good to know, suburban hillbilly.
Dealing with a weird one.
And Lee, you're very welcome.
Put
You
Huga
have,
Homestead.
they have the cutest pigs.
Aw.
They
Dealing with a
do.
weird one. German Shepherd has been mingling with chickens for almost 2 years, no problem.
No.
Once she kills one, she's probably going to kill again.
We had a dog that killed a chicken, and you know what? My daughter was a little girl, Katie, and she actually trained it. And you know what she did? She sat that dog down and she got a baby chick, and she had that chick to walk all over that dog and made that dog take it. That dog just had to sit there and take it, and she never touched another chick again. And then I've heard of people taking the one that they killed and tying it on a rope and tying that around their neck and making them walk around with that dang thing too, to teach them not to do that. But that's what we did. And when our dog killed, it was a baby chick, and my daughter, gosh, she was probably only like 8 or 9 years old. She's always been very such an animal child and grown adult, and that's how she trained the dog. Sorry.
CB, are you saying that happened after it killed the chicken? I'm curious. That's interesting, Rebecca, at Suburban Hillbilly. Oh, good, good. Wow. Diesel chases after them.
Stray dogs got mine.
Yeah.
But we had a wiener dog that was, I guess you could say it was a rescue. He was found and by my best friend, and she didn't want him, so we took him. He was the sweetest thing. And of course, I don't free range my chickens. And I had been out to the chicken coop to do something and come in the house and was going right back out there. And I didn't latch the door. And he got in. Maybe 10-pound wiener dog. And he went to town in the chicken coop.
Sorry, guys.
Wow.
Oh, it's a little dachshund. Mm.
I think she was talking about Gwen's story. Gwen
Yes.
was talking about having a wiener dog after chickens, a rescue.
Wiener dog, dachshund,
Same
dash
thing,
hound,
right?
whatever.
Yeah.
We call them wiener dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We've had wiener dogs now for, oh gosh. He got my first one for me for our 15th anniversary, and this year will be 39 years. So
Oh my goodness.
We've
That's
had
awesome.
pretty much nothing but wiener dogs since then.
How many do you have now?
2.
Cool.
I have 2, and my daughter tags me all the time in puppy posts on Facebook.
Aww.
Like, Mom, look. I'm like, don't do that. But one of the 2 that we have, she refers to as sister. That's her sister. And her sister loves her. She would take that dog and take her home if I would let her. No, she's my dog. Get your own wiener dog. But no, I absolutely love the little breed. Their personalities are all different, but they're the same too, you know. They're just special little dogs. I love them.
Yeah.
And when he got me the first one, I was like, why do you want to get me a wiener dog? I don't even know if I like wiener dogs. he had one when he was a little boy.
Aw.
And he was like, we need one. And I was like, okay. So we went and picked out a little male. And I mean, it was like just a few days old when we picked it out. And from then on, it was like, okay, this is the breed for me. I love them.
Oh my
They're really
gosh.
cute.
Did you see what Joyce said?
Yeah.
We had a dachshund when I was a kid. He was smart. He learned ice cream, then learned how ice cream was spelled. That's hilarious.
Of
Well,
course they do.
ours know Friday night I make pizza. And just about every Friday night I make pizza. And
Oh no.
they know. They
Dang
know.
it.
It's I
Googa.
tell her all the time, you can smell that it's Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as I start, get all the stuff out, she's standing at the stove watching me waiting for pizza. And usually we just give them the crust.
Mm-hmm.
But they know. And if for some reason I make spaghetti or whatever, any other night, if it smells like pizza, she thinks it's pizza.
Yeah. Right.
And if you get the cheese package out of the refrigerator, the
Yeah.
plastic rattle of the cheese, she knows. She's standing there waiting for a piece of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary shit. I don't usually feed them a bite of everything I eat, but he does.
Yeah. CB, I just went through that with my dog. And I know Lisa's been through that with hers too. That's horrible
No.
to watch your animals go through.
Yeah, it is.
Dang
It is. I thought it
So
was
fun.
funny when I was in Texas, they had those 3 wiener dogs and, the house pigs. And it's just funny to see those wiener dogs next to big old Ripley.
Right. I can imagine. Oh my gosh.
And they go
How
running
fun though.
running through the dog door, and the Ripley can't
Mhm.
fit through the dog door anymore.
The pig doesn't fit through the dog door, though.
Not anymore. Recently, she got too big for it.
I have my daughter's mini Aussie right now because they're gone on vacation. And
Aw.
the Belle, the little black wiener, hates
Mhm.
her. Absolutely hates her. And I don't know why. So I have to separate them at feeding time because the first day I didn't. And we had a scuffle. But yeah, it's goals is I want to get this goat fence up, and it's gonna happen when it cools off.
Yeah.
That's my main thing. And then I don't know if I'm gonna have him till the garden, totally till it and tarp it for the winter. I
Mhm.
really want to grow some fall stuff, but
Mhm.
I have 4 raised beds
Mhm.
that I can grow in. I
Mhm.
can grow cabbage and I can grow lettuce and carrots and I have 3 raised beds because one of them is strawberries. So 3 open beds that I can use in the fall and in the
Mhm.
winter. But I really think I'm going to tarp that whole thing and just let it sit over winter. I was going to use the landscape fabric. Lisa and I have talked about it. And like the old Sweets farm, totally tarped we fabric his whole garden. And I got to
Mhm.
reading about it. And I don't know if it's because it's so hot here, but it says that
Mhm.
after a few years of that being on your garden, it kills all of the good microbes, all of the earthworms,
Huh.
everything under the soil. And it's most likely because it's so hot here.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
may
It's
not
breathing.
do that. It may not do that, but I was like, well, I don't want to do that, even
Mhm.
though I would love to have no weeds, no
I
grass,
wonder though if that is assuming that you don't at the end of the season
pick it
pull it
up.
off and till it up.
I don't
You know
know.
what I mean? I'll bet you
Some stuff
they're
is so
thinking
vague on the internet. When you're looking
it
for
is.
information, it's like you're leaving a whole bunch of information out. How did we get here? But
Mhm. Yeah.
I was like fixing to order that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. And I
Yeah.
don't want to have to. I mean, my garden's not that big, but I
Mhm.
don't want to have to take it up and put it down.
Yeah.
Take it up, put it down. Even though I was planning on like leaving open spaces like a foot wide to grow instead of burning holes in the stuff. I just wanted it to cover the walkways mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it comes in, I think it's a 1 foot rolls and 3 foot rolls. And I'm like, why not 2 foot rolls? Because I don't want 3 foot between my rows.
Right. Right.
And a foot's too narrow.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm over the weeds and the grass. There's no way I could get out there. Normally I weed it with my little hand shovel. And I just dig up weeds and put them in a bucket and feed them to the chickens or the goats or, whatever.
Hay hunting and stuff with JJ.
It's gotten so far out of hand that it's beyond that. So I think I'm just going to have it.
Yeah, well, you're not alone.
Weed everything and let me keep, because I have 3 rows of peas and I have 3 rows of okra. My tomatoes are pretty much done. And then I have the raised beds, but the grass, I mean, you didn't get to the raised beds. It's
his
tomatoes did really well though, despite the high temperatures, because usually they stop.
Yeah, and there's probably, I could go out there and probably pick maybe half a bucket right now. I just haven't waded my way over there to that side of the garden. And usually, I mean, if there's lots of tomatoes, if there's ripe ones, I can see there's ripe ones. Okay, I got to go pick tomatoes. But it's gotten to where I've picked most of the ones that are up where you can see. And now, I mean, there's tomatoes off down in the grass and stuff. And it's like, I was picking them. And it's like, I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, that was stupid. Reach my hand off down in there and not can see anything except that red tomato.
No kidding.
I don't want to.
Yeah. My grass isn't that big. My daughter's is getting pretty busy down there. I told her she should share a video of her garden bed. And she's like, no, I have all these weeds. And I'm like, everybody's got weeds. Quit worrying about it. But she doesn't want to share it because she's feeling bad about those weeds. But it's happening to all of us.
I have not done a garden update video because it's so bad.
Oh, because you're doing it like I say, everybody's got weeds. When I was sharing my last update, I'm like, look at these. I'm like, oh, I was looking past the weeds. And then when I was like editing, I'm like, gosh, I guess I should have mentioned. I did at some point mention my weeds, but I could have mentioned them sooner because everybody else was like, dang, look at all them weeds.
Well,
that's what it is.
I think, okay, the first baby goats were born March 31st. And I had already planted everything in the garden, the corn, everything was planted. It just wasn't up yet.
Yeah.
And the baby goats took up all my time. And it wasn't because I had to be out there. It was because I wanted to be out there and playing with them and just because they're cute. And at that time, there wasn't many weeds at all. And
see, we all got weeds. I don't know if you noticed this.
Let my weeds grow.
Go back to Suburban Hillbilly's comment. Go up a little.
Okay, hold on.
He was asking a question. Okay. Keep going.
Oh, wait. Suburban Hillbilly. Oh, here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's an old Troy built rear tine, maybe 2 feet.
Cool.
Maybe.
Yeah. See, we had the rain and I have that weed cover on and I'm convinced it's holding moisture in and it's not allowing it to dry out, even though it's cool because it's not hot. So, and I still have to weed. Tons of this viney weed comes out of those holes and covers the entire ground cover.
I don't know what kind of grass it is. It grows in a huge clump. Well, it doesn't start out huge, but it gets huge. This grass is nowhere else on this property. Nowhere. And my husband's cousin's garden, he asked me, he said, "Do you have that kind of grass in your garden?" And I said, "Yes, and nowhere else." And he said, "I don't have it anywhere else either, just in the garden." We don't know what it is, but it grows huge. And then, 3-4 foot tall, and then has these huge seed heads. So I'm just ready to mow it all down.
Suburban Hillbilly said they made their rows wide enough to cultivate through it with their tiller.
Well, if I did that,
LOL.
I would probably have two less rows. My garden is about 30 by 40, fenced in. Yeah, garden grass. Exactly. I guess we could eat it.
Gail, you've had, I think I've seen so many people who have had great garden years this year, and I'm feeling like my plants are all kind of stunted, though I put them in different places, and I'll swear the bushiest, biggest tomatoes are the ones that are in my rose bed pots.
Look at CB's comment.
Okay, hold on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's so funny.
Well, my daughter normally grows, she just has raised beds, and her tomatoes
I have some of that.
Wonderful. Oh no,
I have some of this.
This is not Johnson grass.
I got some of that. I have, because I tried to plant corn this year, and I've been, trying to pull up the grass that's growing, and I figured out I accidentally pulled up some corn because I thought that it was grass because it was looking like it. And then I recognized the difference, and I quit doing that. And some of them I wasn't sure about. I just let them keep growing.
Makes great hay if you don't let the frost get it. If the frost get it, it's poisonous for cattle. I don't know about other animals, but it's bad if the frost gets it and then they eat it. But it makes great hay.
Huh. Good to know. Try a no-till.
Yeah, we have to, because when our ground gets wet, it gets really hard. So we have to break it up, even though we've added peat moss, we've amended it and all that stuff. It rains and it just gets this thick covering.
I've attempted no-till, some, but I give up and I want it tilled.
I'm no weed
because it gets so hard when it rains. Our ground is what they call sugar sand. It's like flour. It's that fine, and when it rains, it compacts and it is like concrete.
Yep. That's what mine's like in some places. And I added some compost, and I feel like it's going to take maybe a couple more, like this. I'm going to do it before I pull up some stuff, because some of the stuff I planted is growing so slow that I'm feeling like, okay, well, I guess those are going to be fall plants. They're growing so slow.
If I could make myself give up a whole year of gardening to layer cardboard, wood chips, and just keep doing that, I know it would get so much better. But I enjoy my garden so much that I just can't make myself do that. And I mean, I amend the soil and I put the barn clean out, which is hay and goat poop, and then I tarp it and that rots. Sometimes I till it in, but I've seen so many gardens that are flat, totally flat, no rows, no hump, for the row, and they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But my garden has just enough slope that when
Mm-hmm.
it rains a lot, it's a river.
Mm-hmm.
And if I put wood chips down, and I've done it, and then it rains, they all end up at the gate piled up because they float.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
I would need probably 2 dump trucks of dirt to
Yeah.
level out and take that grade out of the garden. But then it might not drain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like trade one for other, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have like a path for the water to go, or does it create its own path?
Well, for a long time I had my rows run in the opposite direction,
Mm-hmm.
and the water would just stand. I mean, it would stand so long that it was green, like had algae growing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got out there one spring and I told my husband, I was like, I'm changing the direction of everything. And I had already planted,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
That's
I
nice,
had
Gail.
onions and I don't even remember what else I had planted, but I dug everything up, replanted it, made my rows go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And that way it drains and then out the gate it goes.
Yeah.
But I didn't really
We're
think it
sloped here
through.
too.
I mean, it was just the convenient spot to put a garden.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the ground and how it drained or anything
Yeah.
before I
Yeah.
started, which I should have, but I didn't. And it is what it is. But I would love to have it flat and plant wherever I wanted to, in rows or whatever, but just have it flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
There's a channel I watch. Let me think of her name.
While you're thinking of that, does anybody have any questions for Gwen before we close for the day? Hey, off the wall prepper.
Yeah, I put
Hey, Eric Wildman.
I asked earlier in the chat and I just put last call. So if I get any, I'll let you know.
Okay.
That
What was the name?
1870s homestead. That 1870s
Oh,
homestead.
yeah.
Her garden is flat. But
What's
it's
that like?
flat and beautiful. And I would love to do that, but mine is not flat.
Jamie wants to know what's for dinner.
I don't know. I made homemade ranch style beans yesterday, trial run before I canned them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty spot on. The recipe I used, it tasted like store-bought ranch beans.
Nice.
That sounds good. I'm doing stuffed bell peppers.
I don't know what we're going to have for supper.
With ground turkey.
Something tomatoes.
Something with tomatoes. Oh.
Something with tomato.
What are you doing for dinner, Lisa?
Not sure. Oh, I have that chicken breast I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
We had our last chicken that we raised, and it was 9.2 pounds.
That's a small turkey.
And I took the wings and the legs off, the quarters, and then I cooked the breast last night, so we have that ready for tonight.
Oh, that sounds good. We're all going to get off of here hungry. Oh, we got a question for you.
You can goat milk. I'm fixing to.
You're doing a video, right?
Yeah, I guess. I've never done it before.
You need to video that.
I've never done it before, but since I've used so many quartz jars, I feel almost guilty using quart jars for milk. It's like I need to put some in pints, and because a pint, I'm not going to drink it like that. I don't want to drink canned milk. I've drank canned milk, and it's not. I wouldn't want to put it on cereal, but I take mashed potatoes or gravy or a recipe that needed milk pint. And I decided I'm going to start putting it in pints. And when I get a Kenner load, when I put my milk in a jar, I use old flats and just put the lid on it, but just to store in the refrigerator. But if I put it in pints as I go, then I can just take those lids off, clean the rims, put new lids on, put it in the canner, and do it. And
Yeah, do a video of that. Somebody else wants, Gail wants to know, did you do a video on the ranch style beans?
You put it in the pressure canner, all cold water, cold milk, everything, and you bring it up to 10 pounds of pressure for 10 minutes and turn it off. And that's it.
For the milk?
Yes.
Huh.
I've just never done it. But
yeah,
I mean, I guess this is year 4, me having goats to milk.
Awesome.
And it's the first time I've milked 3 at a time. And just since I've taken the babies and not put them back, so Magnolia had 3 bucklings. When hers left, they were gone.
Hey, Granny filming again.
And then the other 2 each had a doeling nursing on them until 3 or 4 days ago, whenever. And just taking those babies off them during the day has increased milk by almost 3/4 of a quart. So I get almost 3 quarts a day from 3 little goats.
Hey, Granny filming again.
I mean, it sounds like it's not a lot, but it is. I watch these videos of these people that have goats that have Nigerians and they're like happy with a cup of milk. And I'm like, a cup? And I'm getting a quart? What's wrong? Something's wrong.
We get a lot of milk from ours too. And
are yours Nigerian or are they?
Yeah, they're Nigerian, the Nigerian dwarfs. And they're registered. So they've been bred to have really good milk lines, and their milk is really good milk too. A lot of fat.
Well, I only milk once a day. I tried milking twice a day for about 2 weeks. And what I found was combined, I was getting the same amount as I was getting milking once a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why would I milk twice a day if I can get the same amount once a day?
Yeah.
And not have to do all that.
Yeah.
But there's some of those channels that I've watched for years that have Nigerians, and they get so little from these expensive goats. And I'm like, I don't know. Mine are not registered. One of them could be, but I didn't worry about it. I just wanted them for me.
I bet that is good, Arc Wild Man.
Yeah.
Do you have...
Go ahead.
Gwen, is there anything you want to share about your channel that might be coming up in the near future before we close for the day?
I don't know. I will be canning milk. I will be canning ranch beans.
Folks want to see that. It might sound easy for you, but they want to see it.
Well, I've been canning a long time. Long time. 30 plus years. But there's always something new out there to try.
Yeah.
And the thing is, don't be scared to try it. Find a good recipe, follow the directions.
And just do it, right?
And just do it.
Just
don't
do
be
it.
Scared.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yep.
Like the making soap. And Gail, I saw you got your stuff. Milk and honey. I think you were commenting to me that you got some of your things together too for the soaping thing we're going to do in August. I'm so excited.
I need to freeze some milk.
Hey, Lisa, you got anything you want to share for your channel?
No, ma'am. I don't.
Okay.
She's got baby pigs and there's
tons of them.
Yes.
Tons of them.
Piggies all over the place. All right. So I guess we are about 1/4 so we'll go ahead and stop for the day. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming in. Thank you, Gwen, for joining us.
It was fun.
Thanks for joining us. It was great to talk with you. I got to get going myself, guys.
Looking forward to seeing those videos. You all have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.